Good morning, gang. Happy Friday. You know, never did I want this channel to be gloom and doom because I think we all have the opportunity to better our lot in lives if we just put the effort in. But man, I'm telling you, every freaking day about turning on what's going on in the world, it just tells me that prepping is the only way we are going to possibly make it through this debacle, okay? And I'm not talking just politics. I'll give you a couple of things. If you saw late last night, the Senate passed the debt disaster plan. So it's going to Biden's desk this morning, which of course he'll sign. So we can all count on higher inflation, plan on it. And like I said, roughly 20% more food inflation in the next 2 years. Just plan on that, okay? Just because of this debt deal. Let alone inflation and everything else, all right? Interest rates are going to continue to go up, but, hey, we can pay the minimum on our credit card and celebrate when we get a credit limit increase. That's literally what the government's doing. You look at other stuff that is going on, and whether it's HARP, whether it's El Nino, whether it's just Mother Nature doing her normal thing, who knows, okay? Food is getting very scarce, let's put it that way. And nobody could be happier about that than John Kerry, okay? Of course, this is now food and politics mixing. You got to remember, John Kerry is the one that says we have to destroy agriculture so that we can feed the world. Otherwise, the world's going to starve. Only a liberal can have that kind of twisted logic. Okay, Kerry comes out all the time and says 33% of the world's carbon emissions come from the agriculture industry. We've got to kill the agriculture industry to save the planet. Well, okay. The biggest threat to the planet, of course, is man. There's no question. Without us, without people at all, the planet would survive. Not that anybody be around to notice, but sorry, your choice of saving the planet is by killing the human race ain't exactly what I'd call a good plan. Okay. Kerry's out there saying, well, all these people are going to starve because there's too much carbon emissions, and farming is the biggest contributor to it. Farming's also the biggest contributor to feeding people, dumbass. You can't. We're not going back to pulling, mules and oxen pulling plows in the field, unless, of course, we have to, all right? And if we did, you can absolutely forget about there ever being grocery stores anymore. That super Walmart you go to, not happening. If we get rid of internal combustion engines, if we get rid of coal power, if we get rid of fossil fuels, if we get rid of nuclear power, okay, there's no such thing as a tractor anymore. There's hardly any such thing. Well, there's no such thing as an efficient 18-wheeler anymore. So the grocery stores are gone. That's it, okay? And that's his plan. And of course, Potato Joe is completely on board with it, going, we've got to kill the fossil fuel industry. We've got to kill coal, whatever. We've got to kill the people. That's pretty much the Democrat platform going into 2024. Vote for us. We want to kill everybody. Okay. It's not only the politicians, okay? Like I said, it's weather. And I've mentioned some of this before, and it just keeps getting worse, all right? You look at the orange crop, which I've talked to you before, all right? And we are looking at some 50% of the orange crop being destroyed by bad weather. Okay, will there still be orange juice? Yeah. Are you going to pay through the nose for it? Yeah. Okay. If you want it, great. If you have the ability to grow your own citrus, you live down in Florida, you live out in the desert Southwest, grow oranges, okay? Might be a great barter item. I'm just telling you, okay? But it's not the only one. Georgia came out this week and said the peach crop is going to be devastated this year. It's going to be down 90%. I mean, I want to give you some of this. Florida's got the worst citrus crop since 1937, okay? Now you're talking about a peach crop that's down 90%. Oh, let's add into the beef industry. And the beef industry, and this has been going on for 2 years. We talked about that before with all the drought that was in Texas a couple of years ago. Farmers selling, or ranchers selling off their cattle, and it's not like all of a sudden, poof, you have more cattle. Okay, cows reproduce the same rate that people do. It's about a 9-month gestation period. So now we have the smallest beef cow herd in the United States since 1962. Guys, if you go back to 1962, the population of the country is half of what it is now. Okay, but yet we have the same amount of cows, beef cows, that we had in 1962. Might behoove you to get to know some local rancher who has cows, right? Somewhere, somehow. Want to go further? How about wheat? Talked about this a couple of times before. Okay, the wheat harvest, Kansas is in dire straits at this point because of the drought, of losing 25% of the wheat harvest this year. We already had an absolute crap winter wheat harvest, and now the summer wheat harvest is going to be crap. Priced a loaf of bread in the grocery stores lately? Okay, oh gee, we'll get some extra wheat from Ukraine. They're the breadbasket of Europe. Oh, wait a minute, yeah. Because the farmers have to go out and demine the wheat fields before they can go out and plant or harvest. There's a helpful thing. This is it, guys. It's here the 2nd of June. It is not too late to plant anything. Granted, we're not going to be planting wheat, most of us, okay? You're not going to plant an orange tree or a peach tree and get oranges this year. But you're going to need that nutrition somewhere. And if they are bound and determined, whether it's John Kerry, Joe Biden, Mother Nature, whoever, if they are bound and determined to destroy the food supply in the United States, the commercial food supply at least, then it's up to us to be able to feed ourselves. Go back to World War II, and all the commercial food that was being produced was being sent to the troops so they had something to eat. It's not like, you're dodging Nazi snipers and you can go plant a tomato plant. So everything that we were doing was sending to the troops. I mean, for millions of troops, whether they were U.S. or Allied or whatever, we were feeding most of them. Remember Victory Gardens? That's what needed to be done in the United States. That's how people ate. You look at what happened in England, okay? There are a lot of civilians starving. They were trying to plant and grow whatever they could. It was the only way to survive, guys. We have to learn from these kinds of history. When the powers that be destroy the food supply, or the food supply somehow gets interrupted, whether it be a war, whether it be a supply chain crisis, whether it be weather, whether it be just idiotic ideas, okay, we have to come up with a way to solve the problem ourselves. We have this whole debt deal, which is going to drive the price of food to the point where more people can't afford to eat. I'm not saying go to Walmart and buy yourself a $20 tomato plant that's 2 feet high. I'm saying go to Walmart and buy yourself a $2 pack of seeds and plant 100 plants and grow something. Anything. If you've never gardened before, try. Some stuff is pretty damn easy to grow. Beans, tomatoes, easy to grow. Stick the seed in the ground. Chances are, as long as you water it and give it a little bit of fertilizer, it's going to grow. You're going to need that food. I get pictures from you guys a lot of how well your garden's doing. Whatever, you're planting. And it warms my heart to see all of the people that are growing food. But you look around wherever you live, your neighborhood, your town, your apartment complex or whatever, and look to see how many houses have gardens, how many apartments have food plants, vegetable plants on their porch, okay? I look around where I live, okay? And it's country setting for sure, okay? But it's still not totally rural or anything like that. I mean, it's a rural area and stuff like that, but there's still houses and things like that. There are 3 houses out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 3 houses out of the 12 that are around me that have gardens. Me and Mountaintop Preps are 2 of them. Okay, there's 1 more. That means there's 9 other houses, 75% of the immediate area in which I live in, that is not doing anything to grow their own food. What's going to happen when the food runs out or when the food gets too expensive? Those people are going to do one of 2 things. One of 3. Either they're going to leave the area. Where the hell they're going to go, I have no idea. Gee, let's go to the city because there's a great chance of getting food there. Sure, okay. They're going to starve. Okay, that's a last-ditch effort. Or they're going to try to take what's mine. That ain't happening. Okay. Do I grow extra? In good times, yeah. All right. I mean, now that we can go to the grocery store, sure, I have extra food, things like that, because I can go buy whatever I can. Gee, my carrots didn't come in last year. I can go to the store and buy carrots. No big deal. Okay. In an SHTF situation, that's not possible. So then everything I am growing, I'm keeping. All of it. No barter of it, no nothing. There's nothing you have that I need more than food. You need to grow more. This debt deal is screwing you. The government, this climate change crap is screwing you. The weather is screwing you. I've said it many times. We're at the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, 2 strikes on us, guys. This is it. Either you do it now or make reservations for your room that's surrounded by concertina wire and armed guards. Pinball out.